Hey, we are two Star Wars nerds, and we are back with another Star Wars wisdom talk. This is our last one for January. Not forever, though. Just last one for January. You know, this has been a lot of fun. A lot of great feedback. I'm glad that, you know, they mean something to people. But this comes from Season 7, Episode 5 of the Clone Wars animated series. And the opening quote says, "If there is no path before you, create your own." This is a cool quote. I want to put an asterisk on this because this can get into dangerous territory really, really quick. But I'm going to take the approach of, I don't know, these creative ideas, these creative endeavors that most people have within them. And this one maybe exclusively is for like the dreamers. This one is for the thinkers. This is for the people who, the trailblazers, you know, the people that want to forge their own path. Because, you know, there's something about innovation that excites me so much. I would say you and I have very entrepreneurial minds that are like, we want to create something and we want to create something new
that makes an impact.
Yeah, not just for like the sake of,
that was cool,
you know, patenting and, you know, inventing and all that. But what I found is that there's ideas that we have that were like, it is at least to our knowledge, it has not been done yet. And so we have to figure out a way for that to be done. And there's something where you can look at proven success methods. You can look at like, okay, I'm going to do the same thing everyone else is doing, just a little different, you know, and things like this. I'm going to go down the same path, which is totally fine. There's, in my opinion, there's nothing really wrong with that.
Right.
But you and I are the kind of people, maybe you'd call them hipsters, you know, whatever. Like, I need to be different.
Yes.
There's the DNA of Mr. Two Star Wars Nerds. I cannot be the same as everyone. I have to stand out. And I do think it's a God-given gift just because I think differently. You know, I love to create new pathways, you know. I'm the kind of guy, like, if we're on a trail, like, I'm okay, like, going off trail.
As long as there's no poison oak.
Yeah, that's not a perfect analogy. I'm trying. But yeah, if there's poison oak, no. But I understand the way those trails were forged is because somebody took a step out and they're like, I'm going to go where no one else has ever gone. You know, we live in the Pacific Northwest, and I've often thought when we come across waterfalls, how did somebody find this? It's like way out there. Right. And I'm thinking, like, thank God for the person who said, I'm going to trailblaze. And I think we need to have that same approach to life. We need to say, there's something inside of me that I want to do. I don't even know that it exists. I don't know that anybody's ever done it, but do it. Yep. If you don't, you could literally hold the idea for the next car in your mind, for the next plane, for the next computer, things that did not exist at one point, and somebody was like, what if? And they took a risk.
A crazy risk, yeah.
And they failed a lot. You know, like, think about our phones. This is so crazy that we have computers that we carry around with us, supercomputers.
Yep.
The idea of that 50 years ago it was things of science fiction, but people are like, I'm going to make a way. You know, I'll rant and rave forever on this, so I'm gonna hold back, and I'll pass it off to you.
As you can tell from him already, but we are passionate about creativity and not being like everyone else, and I think it's because we know deep down we were created to create. We're not created to just do mundane things, but we're created to make something beautiful with our lives. And so, yeah, this quote speaks to me. It really resonates with me. Because especially for me, I think I'm like this a little bit more than you. But I do not like being like everyone else. I love to stand out. And that's why even when we made this channel, I was like, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Like, I want to do something that no one else is doing. That's why we have these wisdoms. That's why we don't talk about certain things, or we talk about other things. But especially these wisdoms, I felt like, yeah, I love Star Wars. I want to talk about Star Wars, but how can I make an impact? How can I create something beautiful that other people can hopefully apply to their lives, and that they can help change their lives for the better through a Star Wars quote, through a YouTube video. Like, it's crazy. And I wanted to do something that no one else was doing. I didn't just want to make another channel. Like, other channels are great, but like I said, there's just something in me I don't want to do. If someone else is doing it, I don't want to do it. And that's not necessarily always right. There's got to be a balance, but I feel like everything in my life, early on, I didn't really fit in anywhere, or I didn't fit in this career, this job, this thing. And as I've matured and as I've spent time with God, I've found that I'm not created to be like everyone else. He created me in a specific way, and my job is to do those things and be okay doing the things He's asked me to do and nothing else. And knowing that He's going to make a path before me, and that I can create something beautiful with Him. Like, that's what life's all about to me. I want to create beauty that points to God, because He's the one who created me, and He's a creative God. So if there's no path before you, walk down that path like Mr. Two Star Wars Nerds said. Create that path, find that waterfall. Find the things that no one else has seen and display their beauty, because there's so much beauty around us, and we need those people who are doing the things that are already done. We have to have those sustained, but we also need those who are willing to go out and do something crazy and pioneer something that's never been done before.
You know, there's this phrase. I'm like, how did we not think of this? There's this phrase that we always say, and I'll just say it this way to anybody watching. You guys would be a terrible two Star Wars nerds. And it's nothing about you. It's everything about you, though. Because you're not us. You know, you're yourself.
And we're not you.
And, you know, I could put in so many great channel names, you know. Like, I'll say this, like, I'm a terrible Strike. If you guys know who Strike is, I'm a terrible Strike. I'm a terrible Matt Risman. I'm a terrible Matt Cave. I'm a terrible Padawannabe.
Terrible Avella.
I'm a terrible
Can't even
Avella.
say her name.
I can't even say her name right, you know. But it's like, for me, I had to give up this idea of like, I just want to be so and so, you know, because there's some mega, let's just talk about Star Wars YouTube, mega Star Wars YouTubers. We could just emulate and just be like, well, they're successful, we'll just do it. But then it's like, at the end of the day, like,
I'd rather not be successful and enjoy what I'm doing and create something cool.
100%, you know, and I think that's in life, you know, the most creative people I've ever met are the people who are like, I'm totally okay being the black sheep. I'm totally okay standing out and looking like the crazy one.
Yes.
And, you know, like, honestly, you bring us to any kind of like Christmas party or function and stuff like that, and it's like, you'll just find out we're just super different. We just are, and we're okay with it. You invite us to a white elephant gift exchange, and we just think very differently, and everybody else is like sincere and nice, and we're just like off the wall crazy, because I think it's hilarious, and you do too. And then your grandma gets a Nerf gun. You know, people get live fish and all sorts of things, but you know, I think there's just something figuring out who exactly you are and
being okay with that.
Yeah, no, you're here for a reason, you know, and you're a cheap imitation, but when you're yourself, you know, nothing comes close to that. Yeah. But let us know. Maybe do this. This one will be different, you know, for those of you that watch and comment. Let us know, like, what is that thing? Try and articulate that thing that you feel like you want to blaze a trail in, you know. We're idea people. We love hearing people's ideas. Not saying we can necessarily help with it, but it's like, we'll encourage you. Let's spur one another into action and, you know, encourage one another. You know, why not? But hey, with that, we are two Star Wars nerds, and may the Force be with you always. Huge special shout out to these awesome Patreons right here. If you want to join these awesome Patreon members, just follow the link down in the description below.